You wonder why our country is 30 plus trillion dollars in debt.
Yeah.
Because you have a bunch of imbeciles who have no real life experience or no business experience, have no real wisdom, don't come from challenges and a hard upbringing. Those are the people that are running our government, and then we expect to be competitive in the best government in the world. How? The government creates a problem, then they sell you on they need money to fix the problem. Then they create a bigger problem. Then they ask you for more money to solve the bigger problem, right? It's like this vicious cycle, you know?
Carlos Reyes on the humble show. Yeah, we all in. Yeah, we all in. So grab your boys now, cause you know we all win. Lift your hands up.
$50 million to buy condoms in Gaza? Immigrants, are we fearing for our lives right now? Are we getting deported left and right every single day throughout the country? Is DeepSeek taking over the AI space? And will TikTok get banned? Welcome back to the All In Podcast, where the truth is unedited. I am Carlos Reyes, one of your hosts, and let me introduce the other usual suspects in the room, starting with the man, the myth, the legend in the middle, the most interesting man in the industry, Mr. Zadie! To my left, my business partner of over a decade, Mr. Sal Shakir.
Hey.
Welcome back to the show, fellas. Hey, it's Carlos Reyes. Thank you so much for watching the show. If you have a business that you're looking to scale right now and you want to bring me in and help you do that by hiring me as a mentor, it's very simple. You just have to text the word podcast to the message down below and I will reach out as soon as possible. Now,
to be back.
Right? Let's start out with $50 million to buy condoms in Gaza.
That's 100% money laundering, right? Because that's like each condom is what, 50 cents when you bulk buy like that, right? Or 10 cents.
Let's talk about it.
Too many condoms.
Seriously.
First of all, it's a lot of
fornication. Second of all, like, bro, what? No disrespect to that region, right? But is there a brothel in the area? Like, what's
They're definitely
going
not fucking
on?
like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They have a lot of kids, but this would prevent that, right?
No, but it's first of all, I mean, it's a Muslim country that it's a more reserved country.
It's their sexual morality is a little more conservative.
Yeah, they don't even talk about this kind of stuff. Like, you know, it's kind of like taboo. Like,
so it's
sex
definitely
and
money
that kind of stuff is
laundering.
taboo in that region, right? They don't talk about, like, if you're not married, you're not supposed to have sex, and it's in their religion as well. Like Islam, you know, you can't until they get married, they're not supposed to have sex. I'm not saying that everybody's like that, but that's like the majority, or at least that's the
idea, the ideology.
Can I ask you guys something real quick, by the way?
The Democrats were money laundering, bro.
DOGE, right? Doge or whatever. What is it? Doge?
Department of Government
Department of Government Efficiency.
So great.
Okay, so for the first time in the history of our government, we have this department that is overseeing, efficiency. Efficiency in every aspect of our government.
including real estate. Actually, Trump is trying to sell or liquidate 2/3 of the, I don't know if that's
empty buildings. Is that what this is?
What's that?
He's trying to liquidate the empty government.
Yeah, like
buildings
just
that are
the
sitting
unused
there.
spaces, whether they're leased or on, whatever that is. Again, I haven't double checked on that. I would definitely look into that, but I just heard about it
I'm so
yesterday.
disappointed, bro.
Why?
I'm disgusted and disappointed, honestly, because I know what you're about to tell me. That we as a country are clearly not being good money managers.
We're not optimized.
Horrible stewards of money.
Horrible.
You see what I'm saying? Like
politicians.
When I saw the $50 million that was part of this bill to buy condoms for people in Gaza.
Who approved that? That's what I want to know, bro. It was like, yep.
I was like,
idea.
I was like, hold on. For the first time in our country's history, we are actually attempting to look at our country as we would a business. Like if we were business owners, and we're looking at the efficiency of how we're operating, how we're doing business, how we're running our government. And then boom, right away, we find this like disgusting $50 million that was going to go towards funding condoms in Gaza.
The government
It's
has
definitely
a sound.
there's definitely some stealing happening.
Yeah.
They're not
disgusting,
buying.
dude.
And if they did, where would it go to?
No, but doesn't it make you wonder, Sal?
Yeah.
What else? What else is in these bills? And what have we gotten away? What have we gone away with? Like, what have people gotten away with in the government over the past 100 years? I mean,
my God.
the government declared independence in 1776.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, hold on, dude. Why is it that incoming presidents come in at a net worth of $100,000 or, $1 million, and they leave the office being worth over 9 figures? That's over $100 million in net worth.
Not just presidents.
And then
Yeah,
you
everybody.
tie all that.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. There's definitely no
Senators,
money in
congressmen.
politics,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
right? There's no money in public service.
There's money and power.
There's money in power. There's money in influence,
Influence.
right? There's money in decision making.
Decision making.
Somebody, that $50 million, somebody somewhere was about to get paid.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, 1,000%.
Whether it was the condom company that was giving a kickback to whoever approved
Brokered
the
the
bill.
deal.
Like, I
That's
mean,
right, yeah.
where does it start and where does it stop?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you said something earlier. You said for once though we're looking at our government as a business. Like
Our
we're looking at the
country.
country as a business.
Oh.
Why wouldn't we?
Well, why haven't we?
Why haven't we?
Why
That's
haven't
the
we?
question?
Well,
bro.
most countries don't do it, but America specifically should have done that years ago.
It's easy.
Wait,
this
China
is why.
might?
This is why. Because we don't have business owners in government. How are you supposed to know how to be efficient if you've never owned a business?
We have, who we have running the government? By the way, times are changing, guys. We have the Harvard graduates. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have the what's another
Princeton, Yale.
prestigious school, right? We got Harvard, we got Berkeley, we got
No, there's
Princeton, Yale.
Princeton and Yale,
Wharton.
right?
Cambridge.
Oh, now, like, have you seen the path of a politician? Right? Clean record, keeps his nose clean for the most part, then goes to some prestigious school,
Military.
either paid for by whoever is sponsoring the potential of that individual who's going to become a politician at some point, or paid for by God knows who, right? Very rare does it happen when someone bootstraps their way through college, like a guy like, well, again, allegedly, right? JD Vance did, right?
Allegedly, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or Vivek.
Very rare do you find that, but here's the path, right? Okay, keeps his nose clean, goes to a prestigious school, might serve in the military, gets out, gets into, I would, who I would actually take as the epitome of this, like, this fruitless, empty path of becoming a politician, right? Where there's no substance at all. A guy like Obama. Obama never actually had a real job. Oh, he was a lawyer. No, he wasn't. He was a community organizer. You see what I'm saying? Like, some of these guys or these women, they're bred,
Never had a
right?
woman
They're
president.
groomed into politics.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why our country is 30 plus trillion dollars in debt.
Yeah.
Because you have a bunch of imbeciles who have no real life experience or no business experience, have no real wisdom, don't come from challenges and a hard upbringing, right? Those are the people that are running our government, and then we expect to be competitive in the best government in the world. How?
Like, it's like people like Pocahontas. So I bring Elizabeth Warren is her name. She's like white and she claims she's Indian because 0.00001% of her is Indian. So she's like, I'm an Indian. No, you're not. But anyways, so I bring up her because in Robert F. Kennedy's his hearing today, she kept on bringing up to him. She's like, do you promise not to sue pharmaceutical companies? And she kept trying to get him to say that. And he's like, no, I'm not going to say that.
That's disgusting.
I'm not going to do
dude.
that because she's getting paid by pharmaceutical companies
To put that pressure on them.
so they
to make
could
these
back
promises.
them, so he could back off them. So like that, like what you were saying, she doesn't have a business. She gets paid from them to pass bullshit to make sure that they could get
But
away
how do
with
we,
doing what they're
guys,
doing.
how do we not see it? And for those of us that see it, first of all, I'm not in politics, right? But again, this
You should
new
be.
wave,
Should be.
Thank you. This new wave of politicians, the Trumps, right? The Erics, the Dons, the Don Juniors, the Elon Musk
JD
of the
Vances.
world, right? The JD Vances, right? All this new wave of politicians that it's never happened before. They want to do something different. They want to take the country in a different direction. They're definitely shaking the
Draining
tree,
the swamp.
right? They're draining. They really are draining the swamp. And you know why? You know how I know that the right people actually got in? Because the amount of threats, the amount of pressure they had, right, over the last 4 years, and then it's like, you understand that these crooked people in power are going to come and try to like find dirt on these people and use it as leverage, but they couldn't. So now they're like, oh, now they're running for the hills. Now they're in survival. They're in a state of survival now, right? Where you got a person like Elizabeth Warren saying, do you promise not to come after, the pharmaceutical companies? Why do you care about that?
Imagine this. I just thought of this. I want to mention. Imagine someone comes to you guys for mentorship, right?
Hold on.
Let me finish the
Joe Biden on his way out.
Cut me off, bro.
What is it called? Preemptively pardons Fauci and any of his family members and the January 6th committee. Like, why are you pardoning people that aren't supposedly criminals in the first place? Like, what are you guilty or fearful of? You see, it's like, you got to see it, bro. Like, how are people not seeing this disgusting corruption that's happening right now in real time?
Corruption will always happen. I don't like.
That's true.
You're never gonna get rid of corruption. When there's money involved, and there's more than one person, there is usually corruption. It's just a fact.
And there's a human being.
But at what level? What's the proportion of corruption to be is taboo, right? Because you're gonna have to be okay with some corruption because you can't control it. Like it's part of the business or part of the government. What you're saying is that with the former presidency, there was a lot more corruption,
and probably many, like every single presidency before.
Corrupt, bro.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Went
like
to Iraq on bullshit,
bro. I used to think.
Oh yeah, well Bush
I've
was
had a
had
blindfold this
ownership in the KBR. KBR, it's a company like one of the biggest.
Enron, wasn't it? Enron?
I know it as a KBR, and I knew this from back
VP.
home. And he was a part owner of that, and they were the majority, like all the government contracts overseas. When there's, when they go set up shop over, in a country, they're the one who control those contracts.
Politicians more than likely had equity in these companies
Absolutely.
that were servicing our country and that were getting paid astronomical dollars. It is absolutely disgusting what
And I
goes
think
on
we're
in
going
this
to continue to
country.
see this, like for the rest of our lives. We're going to continue to see this in governments, whether it's in the United States or other governments.
Whoever's in charge,
But you're going to see at what level. What's happening now, and I think that's why it's getting the right. What's happening today with the media and everybody's like kind of outrageous, or they're kind of scared because something needed to happen, and that something is happening right now with this new presidency. Is that you can't fix something that's been broken for so long. You need to pretty much just dismantle it and rebuild it back again. And this, in my opinion, this is the safest way of dismantling it, not 100%, but adding something like Doge. Maybe if they were to liquidate those real estate, if you can pull that up, I don't know what you pulled up, Godfrey. Did you pull that up? Is that part of the real estate? Okay, so if you scroll down so we can read it, but if this is about the real estate, if they are liquidating some real estate, we are not trying to overspend money, so we owe favors to other countries. Now we have to borrow money from China or other countries. Yes, it may sound like, oh, yeah, it's okay to borrow money. That's how we're going to keep the economy going. But at what level? At how many decisions does that enforce on us? How many decisions do we have to make where we yield to another country like China, and they have the grip on us now because we're overspending, because we're not efficient with our money? So, in my opinion, Doge is one of the best things that will happen to the United States.
I think the greatest part of Doge is they have a date where it's going to end. That's how you know it's not bullshit. It's going to end on the anniversary, I think the 250th anniversary of the United States on Independence Day.
There it is, Sal.
Then it's
Doge says
dissolved.
most of the focus has been on DEI contracts and empty buildings. They've already canceled over $420 million worth of pointless spending.
This is crazy. What
in a matter of how many hours? How
Godfrey,
many
can you
days
go
did
to
that take?
Godfrey? Can you type in U.S.
80
debt,
hours.
U.S. debt clock or calculator?
But is it actually reversing for once?
Yeah, no, it has actual Doge. How much money Doge has saved us?
No way.
Yeah. So Doge,
No,
I don't know where it is, but
they
right
added
there,
to
right
the US debt
there,
clock?
on the left. The
Oh my
third
God, they
down,
added the Doge clock.
yeah,
That's
Doge clock.
amazing.
34 billion? Is that 34 billion? That's what it's saved so far.
That is so cool. Man, hey, someone's really trying to do something for once, huh?
Yeah, but look, our national debt's still uprising, right?
Yeah, it is so far.
So
Is it? Is it going up? Yeah, I've never seen it.
no,
go
bro,
down.
it's been going up for years.
Yeah, just the interest is killing us.
Go back to that article, please.
Yeah, imagine collecting that interest payment, bro.
Right.
That's who's winning.
Someone's balling.
That's who's winning.
You know, Sal, it's just scary, dude. It's scary. It's scary that one person or one set of eyes, you know, right now it's Elon Musk. Obviously, I don't know what went down with the whole Vivek. I think he's running for
governor, yeah.
office in
Yeah,
Ohio, right?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Why
I like
women?
Vivek.
I do. I like him too,
Yeah, I
but
like
why
that.
why the change all of
Yeah.
a sudden? Why?
Yeah, was it?
Why bait and switch?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good point, but
we'll see.
Yeah.
he
Anyway.
could be more effective as governor, bro.
Like,
we only
bro,
need Elon.
Should have said it earlier.
We don't need two of them, bro.
Should have
For-
said it earlier.
Yeah, for us to find $420 million worth of pointless spending in 80 hours, $50 million was going to go towards buying condoms in Gaza. Like, dude, who is approving these bills?
That's what I'm
And-
saying. Why we're not
who's
talking
approving
about
these
that.
bills?
We're
Hold
not
on,
talking about
and then who's saying it's okay? Like, people are
voted for it,
after,
yeah.
like, oh, you know, tax dollars. We get taxed on the income we make. We get taxed when we buy something, right? We get taxed on food. We get taxed on gas. We get taxed on clothes. We get taxed on everything, and then we're buying $50 million worth of condoms for Gaza. Like, how does that make me feel as a person here that's working in America?
So why did we break off from England? Because they were taxing us. They were overtaxing us. But now we're still getting overtaxed. So we left for no reason, bro. Might as well have been under the...
I wonder what some of the wildest,
King,
like where some of the
queen.
wildest spending has gone to over the past 100 years.
I think the condoms might have it, bro.
You think that's the wildest thing
I
we've
don't
ever
think
spent
so.
money on?
I think if
this
it-
is more, probably.
This is the thing that the wild
I think this is
thing
the
that
tip
we
of the
know
iceberg.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah,
things
true.
that you don't know of.
Oh yeah.
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 So wait,
So-
this is what I was gonna say. So like, I think what's happening is, imagine someone comes to you guys for mentorship, right? And you're like telling them, this employee isn't being efficient. This employee, blah blah blah, and then the employee comes in and just tries to fight you to not let the business owner run the efficient company. That's what's happening. The senators, the Republican, Democrat, both of them, right? Senators, House of Representative, congressmen, they don't want us to fix the issue because then they make less money or they have to actually work instead of doing nothing and getting money.
Yeah.
Well-
So it's that's why I don't think it's ever going to really fix.
Well, remember what did Bobby Saw says? The government creates a problem. Then they sell you on they need money to fix the problem, right? Then they create a bigger problem. Then they ask you for more money to solve the bigger problem,
Yep.
right? It's like this vicious cycle, you know? So
Well, the good thing is I feel like the economy is gearing up for better years, and we already feel like it's so much better.
they're calling it the golden years.
I mean, it's just. I think that's just the hope, right? The hope to
course.
be the golden
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
right? It's not the golden years yet, right? The golden years is yet to come, and maybe it is this year. But I feel like as a country today, or as the economy, the world follows our economy. Like and we follow the world's economy too. But the world watches the United States. They want to see if we're doing good or not, and that has a ripple effect. As of today, and this is not just my personal opinion. This is based on obviously analysis. This is based on even our inner circle that we have within our businesses and within our colleagues that we know that they own businesses. Things are already uptrending. Money is already circulating faster than before, faster than 5 months ago, and people are not afraid of spending money now. People are investing back in real estate. People are investing in lending money. If you watch the banks, follow the money, right? The banks are lending now. They're calling you and emailing you to give you money. Try to ask somebody for money 6 months ago or 5 months ago.
Oh my God.
And whoever asked, and I'm sure there's some business owners that listen to this. I'm sure some of you applied to some loans. And I know some business owners that did. And guess what they told them? Oh, sorry, your business doesn't qualify. Oh, we're a little tight. And we have their criteria was so much tighter. Now it's looser. Why? Why is money flowing again?
Well, why do you think?
I think because the economy is uptrending.
But why is it uptrending? Why is it uptrending? Your thought?
Oh, well, this is my opinion. This is not.
Yeah, of course.
My opinion is that after the election or when the results showed, the market didn't even take a day. Within the same minutes, stock markets were going up, crypto start going up, and that is based on hope. People felt hopeful versus because they know what the 4 years felt like. And if the Democratic Party were to win, what do you have to look for? You just look historically. You look historically. Okay, so it's been like this for me and my family. Gas prices going, everything's going up. Inflation. Employment is people are getting fired to be rehired somewhere else at cheaper rates. So yes, it's going to be tight. So people were afraid, even though they hated the orange man. They wanted to do better for their families, right? And if the Democratic Party were to win, then the next 4 years is probably going to be the same thing.
But bro, I don't think we would have had. I think we would have been scraping,
or worse, like same thing or worse. Like at best case scenario would be the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So I think it would have been worse. And people, when they saw Trump came about, and then they were talking about Doge and like Trump is a businessman. Then you got somebody like Elon Musk. They care about at least they care about financials, right? For the company's finances. Yeah. And that gave people hope. And that same hope is enough of a jump starter to get the economy going toward the golden years.
To make people comfortable enough to spend money. If people
continue to believe in that.
Yeah.
Now, the economy is all a belief. A dollar is worth what everybody collectively believes what a dollar is worth. That's why you have X amount, like for gas is X amount and all these things, because it's a collective mind, essentially. So if people believe that the economy is good, then the economy will be good. Act as if. But if people believe that the economy is in scarcity and the economy is not doing that great, based on historically, then yeah, I think businesses were to shut down.
Here's what I'll say. For the first time in a very long time, I feel very confident in America. I feel like America's back. I feel like we actually have logical / reasonable leadership, strong leadership, and it has nothing to do with just one person.
Right.
The team.
The actual, the intention behind the people that are getting into office now.
But do you believe there's some snakes in there?
Yeah, but guess what? They're gonna. I mean, brother, again, time.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell.
Time and light, right? Time and light exposes all darkness.
Either promotes you or
time either promotes you or demotes you, right? Either promotes you or demotes you. And I feel like I said, I feel like America right now. I think every single person in America feels like, okay, we're headed. I can breathe a little bit.
Not everybody, bro.
We're headed in the right direction.
Don't feel that way.
Here's what I'll say also.
You're scared.
I saw Selena Gomez crying and all that stuff. We'll get there in the next subject here, but most of the time you're right. Change is the unknown, which people fear change because people fear the unknown, right? Mm-hmm. In this case, I feel like change is hope, not fear. We're hopeful that the changes that are being made are gonna help us improve and progress in the right direction. Right. So
common sense is back.
It just looks like common sense is back.
There's two genders again.
Dude, again, I think a lot of Democrats voted right this way, right? This time around. Now, here's the next subject that I just wanted to get on. Okay. There's a lot of propaganda. And I'm not just saying that it is propaganda, because there are immigration raids taking place throughout the country. Okay. But what a lot of people are making it sound like or look like is that we're getting deported, like immigrants like myself are getting deported left and right, day and night, night and day. Right? And here's the reality of that. I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know how many deportations have happened in the first week of Trump's presidency. But I'll tell you what, it's not 15 to 20 million, the 15 to 20 million immigrants that came into this country over the past 2 to 4 years under Biden's watch. Where I remember, coming in, I remember March of 2024, I'm coming back in from Hawaii and there's over 150 to 200 immigrants. And by the way, these people were not Mexican, because I spoke to some of these people. They were from deep South. They were from like Central and South America. And I asked them, and, I spoke Spanish to them and I said, hey, what's going on? Like, where's the party? Like, yo, why is there 200, 150, 200 people here, right now at this time with these little yellow bags and these prepaid visas, right? I'm talking to them. Oh, we got this, we got that. They were telling me where they're headed. Most of them were headed at that time. They were headed to Chicago specifically, and one of them asked me like, do you know where there's an ATM? I need to pull out some money. I'm like, how does this person have money? Right? Yeah, we got these cards. Look, they gave us these cards. I'm like, oh, man.
I mean, how bad would it be if they let all of them in and they didn't give them money?
So what I'm saying is,
That would be
right? If we have made 1,000 arrests in the past week,
Yeah.
listen, there is 15 to 20 million people that came into the country under
Illegally.
Biden's watch
Illegally.
that were incentivized. By the way, they were incentivized to come into the country.
Still
And then they were guided and supported and provided, right? And instructed to go to a specific city in this country. They were handheld through the entire process. Now, this is all I'm saying, right? Listen, of course, as a Mexican immigrant, yeah, bro, of course I don't like living in fear. I lived in fear most of my life. And guess what? A lot of these news outlets, it just seems like the propaganda is at an all-time high. What if we've only deported? Let's just take this into account. What if we've only deported 1,000 people and we're making it look like these raids are going on every single day?
And imagine these 1,000 people are all like violent criminals.
Well, here's what Trump and Tom Homan had said. Hey, the people that we're going to be spending our time, our energy, our resources, our focus are the dangerous, right? Are the dangerous criminals with dangerous felonies that have been instructed to leave the country but are still here. And guess what? There was over 2 million of those particular type of immigrants.
Let me ask you something, bro. Your work ethic is pretty phenomenal. You bust your ass. You're busting.
I'm an
your ass since
immigrant.
you were
I
a
work
kid.
hard. Yes.
Right. So you had nothing. You came from nothing, and you have what you have now. Do you think that you would still have that if, when you had nothing, someone came to you and said, "Hey, here, take this. Hey, come here," and they just gave you everything?
Of course not.
So I think maybe what's happening, it's like breaking down people. It's breaking down Mexican people. It's like trying to take that fire away from them by doing that. You're like giving them all this shit. And then they're like not going to be the ones hustling and not the ones building and doing this stuff. So it's like, it's sort of racist in a way.
Well, here's the reality of it too, Sal. Listen, I know, first of all, I know what it's like to be an immigrant and to have to live in the shadows. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to live in fear and to be afraid every single day.
Wow.
Is this a day that I get caught? Is this a day that they catch me driving?
A coyote brought you over,
Is
right?
this, yes. Yeah, he looked like you.
With the bat too?
No. Is this the
Or
day
the
that
one?
is
Come
this the
on.
day that I go and pick
Take
up
you
my
over.
daughter and then like boom, bro, living in fear
That's-
sucks,
that's
bro. You know what I
scary.
mean?
Yeah, that's scary.
Living in fear sucks, right?
That's scary.
And guess what? These Mexican influencers and these news outlets, they're not making it any better. Like if there was 1,000 people that were arrested last week
Out of millions.
out of 15, 20 million people, or the 2 to 4 million dangerous felons that are illegal immigrants in the country, and you're sitting here
Wow.
scaring our people every single day with this like psychological operation.
Wow.
It's not cool, dude. It's not cool.
If the numbers are right,
It's propaganda.
bro, if the numbers what you said are right, you have statistically there's more of a chance of you getting struck by lightning than getting deported as an illegal immigrant.
Yeah. Come on, pull it up.
Wild. That's
Pull
wild.
up the numbers. How many people have been deported in the past 10 days? He's been in the office 8 days. How many people have been deported? And
Since
everybody,
Trump, just put since Trump.
bro, it's like,
That's the
dude,
new one. What's the geek thing? What's that? Chic geek or was it called?
here's what I'll tell you.
The Chinese
Listen,
ChatGPT, what is it called?
Did you guys know that during Donald Trump's presidency from 2016 to 2020, he had the fewest deportations out of any sitting president over the past 3 decades?
Yeah, because he didn't let a lot of them in. That makes sense.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
I don't even know if he hit 1 million.
270,000 people?
No, that's 12
12 months.
12
Yeah, come
months. Wow, that's a lot.
But listen, you guys want to know? You guys want to know what sitting president actually deported the most amount of people in during their term
Barry.
or terms?
Barry.
No, Bill Clinton. Over 7 million deportations, and then Barack Obama, deporter. What was it? Deporter in chief.
2 Democrats.
How is that? How wild and ironic is that? The two sitting presidents were Democrat, the ones that deported the most amount of people during their terms, right? And here we are villainizing, right, and making Trump to be the boogie or the what is it, the boogie monster,
Boogeyman.
the boogeyman.
And if you had to really decipher it, why do they really deport? And I speak for the most recent presidents like Obama and maybe Biden also deported a lot. But you have when they get elected by minorities, so they think that they have to be super loose with their borders. Like they use that as like their.
Are you talking about Democrats?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but they've
use that
deported the most amount of people.
Let me tell you what would happen. They
don't paint the
it's
picture
sick
that
how
way,
this
yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
So they
let you in and they kick you out.
no, they march forward. They say, oh yeah, they raise the flag. Yeah, we're all for equality, this and that, and like, yeah, we're all for the minorities, just to get a win, so they can win. But once they're in, they're in the government. They're in the government seat. Like they're in their seat. They're looking at statistics like, oh my God, this is getting out of control. And if we don't do something, we're gonna get in bigger trouble. So they'll start deporting more people because they create a bigger problem. So they have to now evacuate from that problem. But by then, they're already in the clean because they've portrayed this picture. They're all for the people. So they try to do even more things to act like they're for the people. To act like they're for equality. Yeah, we'll take care of the homeless people. Oh yeah, we'll take care of not homeless, for the less fortunate people. I apologize. But you got something like California where it's creating a bigger problem, a bigger pandemic, because there's way more less fortunate people on the streets every single day. The amount of people that become homeless and the amount of people that are recovering, it's lopsided. Clearly, it doesn't work. And that's how the Democrats' method of fixing everything. They act like they want to make a change, and that same change will put them in a worse spot. And it puts everybody else in a worse spot, kind of like Bobby Sauce said.
Here's what I'll say. Immigration has always been a challenge in this country. Nobody has figured out what is it called? The Rubik's Cube? The Rubik's Cube when it comes to immigration? Is that what it's called? The
We're a
Rubik's
nation
Cube?
of
But how do you
immigrants,
solve it? Think about
But we're a
it. To
nation
solve
of
it, you need to do
immigrants.
something drastic. And when you start to do something drastic,
People complain.
people complain. And when you don't do nothing about it, it spirals out of control somewhere else, and therefore you can't really just blame that. You'll blame it on any other factors.
That's why they shut down the border. Instead of saying, hey, let's fix the problem, they're like, all right, let's stop it. Stop the leak.
I mean, you have to.
Stop
yeah.
the leak, and then let's try to figure out how to patch everything up. Instead of trying to like throw water out of the boat when there's a hole in the boat.
Everybody wants to
you
go
know?
to heaven, but no one wants to die.
Yes.
That is just the reality of this.
Mm-hmm.
So if for something to happen, you need to shake the tree, and this is the shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, if we all agree as a country, saying, no, you know what, we can't take that much, that much pressure. We can't take that much misery because we're deporting families. And I understand it's tough. I can't make that decision. Honestly, it's hard to take families apart. But there's somebody has to make that decision, and collectively we have to all agree on it. And whether that decision is, do we keep everybody, or do we, if we kick out people, what is the proportionate response to that? Like, how many people do you want to kick out? Do you want to kick out only the criminals? What about the somewhat criminals? At what level do you say who's a criminal, who's not? Is somebody who has a misdemeanor is considered a criminal, or does it have to be a felony?
All right.
No,
Here's
if
what I
they
want to
came
say.
here illegally, they're a criminal. That's like their position.
Well, yeah, that's the Jurassic measure.
That's
But if people are
Well,
complaining,
it is the law. It is the law. Look, guys, I'm a Mexican American. I'm an immigrant.
you're a lawbreaker,
I'm the only one in this damn room that came here illegally.
lawbreaker.
Okay. Guess what? I was fined when I went through my process. I was fined an extra, I think it was like $1,500 because I broke the law.
Wow, really?
Yeah. It was called like, what was it? Like, man, like I don't know, breaking and,
like, how did you just went somewhere and paid your fine?
no, literally when you're going through this process, right? The fines start coming in.
Like, they mail you fines?
No, like you cannot get your green card or you
Unless
cannot get your citizenship
yeah.
until you pay this. There are fines for breaking these laws. That's why I did it the right way. It took me 15 years to become a citizen here. I started my application process in 1996. I didn't become a citizen
So if
until
somebody follows the
2012.
process, they can still be legal.
Yeah, of course.
Even with this new
Well, maybe in 10,
shake
20
up.
years.
Well, there's a lot of different things how you can legalize, and my process was the slowest process possible.
Because you
because-
didn't claim
they have to
political
be
asylum.
vetted.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, mine was an immigrant mother was applying for an immigrant son.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like
that's why
I
a
had
lot-
like the longest process.
That's why a lot of people,
the
what
worst
they do,
process.
they claim asylum because it's the easiest way.
Yeah, there's
You
so
come here,
many
you're like, oh,
different
I'm in danger
ways.
of my life. They're like, oh, you're in, and then we'll do your paperwork,
But,
and then
but here's what I'm saying. Okay, I don't appreciate the fear mongering that's happening throughout the country with the propaganda.
It's white liberals.
to scaring my people, scaring immigrants. Right. This is what I want to tell them. Right. Anybody that's watching or listening,
if you're a white
listen.
liberal, listen.
Listen, we're okay, especially my Mexican American immigrants out there. Listen, we survive SB 1070. We survived E-Verify. We survived the Zoot Suit riots. We survived, the 1980s and the 1990s with the fields and the amnesty, right? We have always, like, we will survive. Like, we will outlive whatever is happening right now. Don't look at statistics, guys. Okay. Look at the data. Don't sit there just because a Mexican influencer is like, guys, we're being deported. Like, and first of all, more often than not, that Mexican influencer is an American citizen that is just scaring the shit out of you because he or she makes money on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and needs clicks and likes and views. Right? So don't fall for it. Look at real data, real statistics. How many deportations have happened in the past 10 days?
And what kind of
Who
deportations?
are they? Who got
deporting?
deported?
And don't, like, another thing, it's like on the news is like ICE is going into schools in Chicago.
Really?
But that didn't really happen. It was the Secret Service that went on a tip. But like no one looks beneath that surface, right? They see CNN say ICE went to the school. They're like, oh my God, they're going to the schools. No one wants that. No one wants that.
No, what do you? No, bro, really? Like first of all, we always want to be human beings, right? Second of all, here's the tough part about the law. It's black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Either broke.
There's no logic. Actually, it's logical, not emotional.
But for you, like, you had to have the chance to be able to be a citizen at some point.
Me?
Yeah. Or like, you came in after 10 years or 15 years, you became a citizen.
No. Sal, I got a work permit first.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got my resident card. Then I became a citizen after. I had to earn my citizenship.
did
I had
it
to
the
keep my
really
nose
long
clean.
way,
So
That's
there you
what
go.
I'm saying.
That's the topic. That would be the topic. So how can
You didn't shortcut
if
that
a
at
person is
all.
listening to this and they're scared, what steps can they take, or how can they think to be hopeful?
Yeah.
If they're
what's the
kicking
first
everybody,
step? How
about this?
are they going to be kicked out, or do they have
Hey.
a chance to be?
Hey, start
be-
the process.
Okay, so they
Start the
they
process.
didn't shut down the process.
No,
They did.
No, there isn't.
Now they shut it
There's
down.
no,
That- well, that's the
there's
question.
there is no, like what, naturalization. There is no citizenship naturalization process that got shut down.
Really?
Yeah, you can still, there is still, I swear, there are still laws in place right now that have been there for decades on how you can become a citizen. Pull it up.
Well, the question
Go.
is, well,
How
the question
can I
is that
become
the
a
new
U.S.
government.
citizen?
The question is that the
Now.
new government, do they put a pause to that or not?
Yeah.
If
They
that's
put a
the
pause
case,
on
then if people are
entry, maybe
freaking
that's
out.
the thing.
I
But
don't-
if they didn't, you know
No.
what? Then no one has the right to freak out.
No,
anymore.
you know where,
If you're
you know,
here, you got a shot of staying.
okay,
Basically.
10 steps to naturalization.
But
There it
did you
is.
put now though.
No, you want to know what was shut down?
The board, the entrance.
What was that called? The HB1? What was that, please?
HB1
what was
visa.
that?
No, the
you-
entrance
you-
is like you just can't come in now.
So we did close the borders,
Yeah.
and then
forget the
brother,
future.
go
If you're
back.
here- if you're
go
here-
there.
We're talking about the now, the people
Okay.
that already entered.
Put thousands immigrants stuck at border. Just put that. Watch the law will pop up. Look at this. Colombian migrant 48 cries after her CBP1 appointment was canceled. See what I'm saying? Right?
CBP1.
That's what it was called, the CBP1. It was canceled. So Trump.
So this is from the entering, but not for the people that are already in.
no.
So they can
She's
follow
already
the
in.
process.
Wait, she
Why
was
is
already
everyone
in.
That's what
freaking
I'm
out?
saying.
And the ones that are being kicked out, it's probably criminals.
I mean, if they came here illegally, they're criminals, bro.
All right, go down.
Well, I'm talking about like, well, I've saw some mugshots or some pictures of people like some of them had 6 DUI, some of them had,
No, I get that. They're trying to get rid of the
Trafficking.
worst of the worst, but at the end of the day, if they have somebody who came here illegally and didn't
What
do
is
all
the
those things, they're not going to be
CBP1,
like, all
guys?
right, we'll let you go. They're going to be like, sorry, you are a criminal. You know,
Yeah, right there. Look, the app called CBP1, right?
It's an
It
app.
allowed nearly 1 million people to legally enter the United States.
think
It was
it's-
allowing, bro, Tijuana.
They put app.
Bro, Tijuana was allowing 400 people per day due to the CBP1 app. 400. Again, how is that fair to a guy like me?
Yeah, it's not at all. at all.
Right? Like what?
Yeah.
I can just walk in,
Yeah.
right? Like, dude, I risked my life to get
Yeah.
here. So again, guys, before we get all riled up, is it
Yeehaw.
propaganda? Right? Let's look at the data, right? Is it propaganda? Or is it reality? Like, are we is immigration what is it? Immigration customs enforcement? What is ICE, by the way? Look that
I
up.
think you hit the nail on that. That's got to be
Right? Are they coming in to my jobs,
La migra.
to my warehouse and just casting a big old net? Because that's the way that they're making it look
Yeah,
like.
immigration.
Yeah, immigration and customs
So
enforcement.
how does that translate to La Migra?
No, that's not. The ICE is different than La Migra.
What's La Migra?
La Migra is what used to be called the Immigration Naturalization Services, the INS. That was La Migra.
So what did they do that ICE?
Now it's called Department of Homeland Security or
Oh.
Border Patrol. You know what I mean?
Okay.
U.S.
right,
Border
all
Patrol.
right.
That's La Migra.
Okay.
So
To answer your
yeah, I used to see a green truck and I used to run.
Shit.
to answer your question about this.
Thank you. Quickly access the current of the submission. Okay, guys. It was a accelerated way of just coming into the country. That is what
Through
you,
an app.
That is
right?
what you call
That's
an open
crazy.
border, by the way.
Yeah.
Continue.
But well, to answer your question, you said the fear mongering is justified or not. I guess it's too early to tell.
Mhm.
That's true.
Like 8 days, 10 days, a week, 2 weeks. It's way too early to tell. You need at least a month, 2, 3 months to see what's going on, gather the data, see what kind of people that got deported, how many of them got deported, what is the cases, what is the common denominator there. Then you can judge that. I think it's way too early to judge this. Yeah. So if you're afraid, then don't be afraid if you haven't broken the law. That's all I can say, because
They all
even
broke the law.
as a business, if I was to think as a business, forget politics, where do you go after first? Like when you make decisions on a big scale, on a macro scale, if you were to deport people, or if you were to go after something, what do you go after first?
Criminals, the bad people.
Whatever is like the worst case, like
For
the
sure.
worst thing that's affecting whatever it is.
Yeah,
So I would assume that the government would go after that first.
they are.
This is my prediction.
Yeah.
Are there going to be some innocent people? And how can you verify innocence or not? What if they're criminals in the other country, you know? And that's some of the ones that they already deported, that they wanted for murder in that country and whatnot. So those
Yeah,
you can
and they've been
verify.
asked to leave.
Yes, they've been asked to leave.
Yeah.
So if you ask me, I think they're going to go after that first. But for how long they'll go after that, and then they'll switch gears to go after, non-criminals if they do so. Now, if that happens, then there should be, something to talk about. Okay, are they following the steps or not? Like, you're going to have to reach a point and saying, okay, what point in that scale is okay and what's not okay?
And then adjustments have to
But
be
until
made,
then,
right?
we shouldn't say anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Here's what I'll say too. There's all this back and forth. I don't understand this whole back and forth, like Colombia and Mexico going back and forth with the U.S. about like, no, you're not sending them back here. Like, what?
They're criminals.
dude?
We're not taking them.
Yeah, like what's going on here, dude? Right?
That was kind of funny, though.
what?
It was funny how Trump played it. I think Trump played that card way too quick.
Which one?
It worked. What do you mean?
He told them that he's going to enforce tariff on them. And the president came back and said, yes, we'll enforce tariff too. And the next day, they're like, oh yeah, they worked it out and they landed that plane.
You're saying the Colombian president didn't think it through?
Yeah.
Well, I think Trump didn't think it through. I think
What?
Trump, no, he thought it through, but I think he pulled that card too soon
How
with
it
that
worked?
country.
It
He
worked.
could have pulled that card with another country with
What are you
something way
talking
bigger.
about?
Why? It worked.
Why?
It worked.
What do you think? Why?
He could have pulled that card with something bigger. I think he showed his cards too
Oh,
early in the
that's
game.
what you're saying.
He showed his cards too early
What,
in the
the
game.
tariffs?
Because other countries know it's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
So they can
with
kind of
something so easy, with something so small.
Wow.
Like he could have just said, you know what, you land or something else. Don't use that card.
Well, it did kind of send a message, though.
I don't know.
I mean,
I actually think the guy's kind of like, I don't think he has time to waste.
This is the crazy thing, though. The
I think he's just
Colombian-
going.
He could have pulled a different card.
He's going
because
for the juggler, bro.
The tariffs. Well, tariffs are not that great idea for the United States either. If you really study what tariffs
Yes
would
and
do.
no.
yes.
The citizens will pay for that. We
No,
pay.
no, they won't. They won't.
Yes, we
no,
do.
they won't.
No.
You know,
Yes,
you know why they won't? If you go to a store, right, and you see a rose for $40, or you see the same rose for $5, which one are you buying?
The $5 rose.
Right. So you're not going to pay for it.
Okay. We would have to dive
we
deep
can have another
into
discussion. I can show you statistics too.
Yeah. So anyway, back to what we were saying. When it comes to immigration, do your research. Okay. Don't go off the propaganda. See what's really going on. See what rights you have. Okay. See what rights you have. I mean, I really wish that we were coming up with solutions, right? Instead of like this
Bickering.
all the bickering and the
yeah.
back and forth and the propaganda, right? It's like, dude, come up with solutions.
That's their
Fear
job.
is overtaking. Right
That's their
now.
job. The politician's job is to come up with solutions, not
Yeah.
bicker at each other. But they made it like the bickering is the job now.
Well, yeah, that's how they got it.
Let's come up with some solutions, man. Right? Like some sustainable, digestible solutions, right? Compliant solutions.
When you're running, bro, when you're running. Carlos Reyes, 2046.
Anyway, here, let's finish it up by saying this. What's going on with DeepSeek?
Ooh.
Sal, you're the
So, yeah, but what's DeepSeek is like a chat
Know what's
GPT
going
on
on with that?
steroids.
Well, yeah, you know what's interesting about DeepSeek is that it took them $6 million and around 2 months to build this thing.
because they
China.
copied it probably.
Why?
And why?
Because they're really good at copying.
Okay, copying or not, call it what it is,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's showing that it's already has so much better. It's already cheaper. That's number one. Number two, it has way more entries. If you look into that data,
Like more people are
comparison-
using it.
the downloads of the apps in the United States is already the highest it's ever been, more than ChatGPT.
New TikTok.
But I don't know how. Like they're saying it's been verified data. So what makes AI strong is the amount of entries that you have. Like
Yeah.
how much stuff you feed it,
Mm-hmm.
and
How many users use it?
not just use. Well, obviously user, but how much they fed it, like to part of its algorithm or part of its whatever. I forgot what it's called. That one, the DeepSeek has so much more. Like it triumphs over ChatGPT. And it's something this brand new. And also, it's not just text. ChatGPT is just text. This one is text, video, images. It has so much more capabilities than ChatGPT already, and it's brand new.
Who created ChatGPT? OpenAI?
Yeah, OpenAI.
Are they American?
United States.
Yeah.
So
Here's the
what's it
reality,
called?
guys.
Seek, what's it called?
Yeah, but this is what happened. NVIDIA.
Are China people just smarter than us? I mean, we all have our talents, you know?
They're masters.
We're going to get to that, but think about this. NVIDIA, bro, they were, I don't know how many billions of dollars. The stock markets are crashing because they were supposed to be they're going to be the leading, AI. NVIDIA, which is, they're the
processors.
They're processor
right?
or card
CPUs.
companies. They show
graphics cards.
Graphics cards. There you go. Well, they lost billions. I think there's billions of dollars of loss. If you pull up the stocks, Godfrey, of what happened in NVIDIA, just type NVIDIA, NVI. Yep. And
they started giving
just put news. See how much they lost.
They just started
just because this DeepSeek. Oh, look at that! It's all red.
Seek.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's a big dip.
huge
Little
dip.
dipper. Dipperoo. It's like a wave.
Well, hey, listen, what do they say about business? The only thing, the only
thing is consistent is change, or
the only thing consistent,
permanent thing is change.
the only permanent thing in business is change.
Yeah.
Right. So there it is. Evolve or dissolve.
They kind of did. They're doing free training now. Instead
Evolve
of,
or
like, their
dissolve.
Courses.
Well, yeah,
paid,
you got
now they're doing
DeepSeek
free
is
training.
offering the pay, their free version is the ChatGPT paid version.
So is it like DeepSeek? You could go on there and be like, "Show me the American flag," and then it'll pop up.
I downloaded the app last night. I haven't opened it yet.
I'm gonna go through it today.
I'm probably
Yeah,
gonna sign
me
up. But
too.
guess what? There's something to be concerned about. I've been the person that's been concerned about TikTok as well. TikTok is Chinese, and they know a lot of information
All the
about
data,
all that data
Americans.
is belongs, it's in China. So how do you trust that? And that's why Trump wanted to shut down TikTok. Beyond the influencers that want to dance, and I get it that you make a lot of money from it. I would hurt too if I was making money from TikTok.
Yeah, what's up?
So I understand. But the bigger picture is, how much does China have on us now because of TikTok? Well, now you have something like this.
Yeah.
And is this the new TikTok strategy?
Here's the reality of it, Sal. Okay, Americans, we're consumers. We don't give a shit what information you need. Just give it to me.
Yeah, I want to
Give it
buy
to
it.
me.
I want
Give
to
it to
buy
me.
it.
I want to eat it. I want it right now.
If I could buy it, I want to
You
buy
know
it.
what I mean? Like,
I'll buy two.
we're consumers.
And I
Americans are
downloaded
consumers.
the
Yeah,
app. You're gonna
exactly.
download it.
You see, like I have TikTok. Like, dude, here's the reality of it, bro. If some powerful human being on the other side of the world wants to press a button and blow you up in your house, he probably could.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that. It's
There'll
like
be all
that.
hell to pay.
It's like that friend I have about how, like, he doesn't want an electric vehicle because he doesn't want to give absolute power to the government in the matrix. I said, wait a minute, right? I'm like, well, wait a minute. Your truck,
Definitely
right? Oh, your
votes
truck runs on
Democrat.
gas? Yeah, it runs on gas. Okay. Well, so you want to keep running, you want to keep having vehicles that run on gas so that the government can't shut you down in case something happens? Yeah, I just want to be able to get my family out of the city, safely. And, if my truck runs on gas, well, then I'll get there. I'll do it. It'll happen. All right. Well, does your truck have a computer in it? Yeah, it's fairly new. It's a 2022, right? Okay, so it has a computer. Got it. Well, guess what? Genius. Right? That car ain't going to run without the computer being on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Unless if you have a 1950 car. or
exactly.
something.
Yeah, where there's no computer, which
say
I do
they'll
have a
shut down the
classic right
computer?
here,
I don't know, does it run?
1965. It does run.
Wait, what are you saying? They're going to shut down the computers in cars? What are you
Oh, bro,
saying?
if they have a way.
That's what I'm saying. It
Yeah,
defeats
people want
its
to.
purpose.
If they want to, they could.
Bro,
That's
a
all I'm
A
saying.
nuclear bomb will just solve that, bro.
You're way out of what I'm saying.
You're
is,
just
dude,
snapping your
you got
animals fingers
listen.
right now.
the TikTok people and the now DeepSeek people,
DeepSeek.
right?
Same
And
people,
the
same
I don't want to buy an electronic vehicle,
Democrats.
right? No, they don't want, because the government will have control, or the government will have my data. I want to stay off the grid.
All right, you're not safe, basically. Yeah.
Like, dude,
you're not safe.
You make no sense, bro.
You're not private.
That's all I'm
you're
saying.
not safe. Yeah.
Oh, what's this? Why don't you have social media? oh yeah, I don't want the
I'm off the
government to have
grid.
absolute.
I'm off the grid.
Well, does the MVD have your information? That's the government.
You got your address.
See what I'm saying?
You got a social security number.
God,
yeah.
Jesus, right? Anyway.
Yeah, just give it up.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
government already-
Like people aren't logical.
They want you
right?
out, you're out.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you want a good government, an honest government to know a lot of things
I've
because they would
never
prevent.
heard of
A
those
good
two
government, yeah.
those two words being
Okay.
used in the same sentence.
All right,
The most
would
vicious
you rather?
mob of all time.
I'm not saying this kind of information. I'm saying like, how do they keep the bad guys out? Like, do you want to sleep in your bed, comfortable, not worrying about anybody breaking in? Because I know how that feels. I lived in Iraq. I mean, they broke in our house. They shot my dad. They tried to kidnap me and my brother. I know how it feels. If it takes the government to know information about a lot of people to save us from situations like this all day long, yeah, of course.
Yep.
But the people are talking about that. What are they hiding?
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. What are they like? What do you have to hide to be worried about that?
And here's the last thing I'll say when it comes to borders, right? And I know this sounds hypocritical because I am an immigrant and I am a Mexican American that came here, right? And came after the American dream. But here's the reality of why borders do exist and why borders need to exist. Okay? When we all started making a little bit of money, we went and got ourselves into a gated community. Guess what we also do, right? We lock our doors. Oh, we even go a third step. We activate our alarm system before we go to bed.
Carry guns.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? So, dude, don't be a hypocrite, dude. You know what I mean? Don't be a hypocrite. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that being said, if you've been watching or listening to this show, first of all, the influx of new subscribers, amazing. Thank you. Thank you. That means that you're subscribing and you're telling other people to subscribe. Thank you so much. God bless you for that. But if you haven't subscribed and you've been watching this show, come on, hit the subscribe button for God's sakes.
Do it. Come on.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Anyway, we'll catch you next week. Thanks for tuning in.